Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Christina Kent and I'm an oil painter based out of San Francisco. And today I wanted to talk to you about some of my favorite creative rituals. These are the things that I do every day or every week to help keep the creative juices flowing so I have lots of ideas and inspiration for my paintings. And I hope that if you've been feeling uninspired or maybe you're feeling some creative block, you can try adopting some of these rituals yourself and see if it helps get you back into the creative flow. So my first creative ritual is morning pages, and this is something that I heard about from The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. A little side note, that book is amazing, and if you are in a creative rut and you haven't read it, I would highly recommend it. I think it can give anyone a big creative boost. So what are morning pages? Morning pages are basically just a stream of consciousness form of journaling. So every morning, first thing in the morning, I make my coffee, sit down with my journal, and I write for about 15 minutes of just anything that's on my mind. This is literally just stream of consciousness writing. I'm not editing, I'm not really thinking about what I want to write. I'm just writing whatever's on my mind, whether it's on one topic in particular or I'm just jumping around from one thought to the next. It's kind of like kind of a brain dump onto the page. And I don't know if there's that much science backing up morning pages for creativity. I know in general seems to be a lot of science that backs up the benefits of just journaling, various types of journaling, but for me, I've found that it's really helped my creative practice. One of the reasons for this is that it really helps me understand what's going on in my mind. As I'm writing, I notice the different things that I'm thinking about. I kind of notice the state of my mind. Am I really distracted? Am I more concentrated? Is there one issue that I'm really worried about that's really bugging me? Or are my thoughts kind of jumping around from place to place? All of that I can figure out while I'm doing these morning pages. And I think that understanding your state of mind and what's going on in your head is really important if you're going to be embarking on any creative project. And sometimes in these morning pages, new ideas pop up that I can use for future work. But I really like taking this time in the morning to connect with myself and to see where I'm at, kind of mentally and emotionally. And I feel like doing it in the morning before I start work, before I start looking at emails or news or things like that, really helps me connect more deeply with myself and how I'm really feeling. The second creative practice that I really like to do is meditation. And I'll admit, meditation is, for me, a lot harder than morning pages. With meditation, I find that I tend to go in and out of my meditation habit. So sometimes I'll be on a really big streak and I'll be meditating for 30 minutes a day for a lot of days. And then other times I can barely even manage meditating like 5 minutes a day. But it's something that I try to do every single day to allow my mind to settle and to connect with a sense of peace. I am a very type A kind of go-getter, goal-setting person, and I'm always rushing from one activity to the next in this state of perpetual busyness. I've also found that over time I've started to associate boredom or not doing anything with a lack of productivity, and I really like to be productive. So I oftentimes, if I have a free moment and I have a moment to just sit and be quiet, I'm very tempted to get something done or to distract myself in some other way. But it's these moments of quiet, these moments of pause where I'm not distracted either thinking about the future or thinking about the past or worrying about what I have to do. It's in those moments that I actually tend to have my best ideas. And most of my paintings are about capturing the beauty of the present moment. And to do that, I really need focused, concentrated attention about what I'm actually seeing in my environment right now. My ability to pay attention is what allows me to see the beauty in front of me. And I find that I can't really hear inspiration when it's calling if I'm so focused on my to-do list. So for me, cultivating this quality of attention and ability to be in the present moment is really, really important. It's key to my creative practice. And I don't always do the same type of meditation. Sometimes I do very concentrated meditation where I'm just focused on my breathing, and other times I do more open awareness style meditation where I'm just open to whatever sort of stimulus or things are coming up in the present moment. I find both of these types of meditation help me feel more inspired, more creative, and just happier in my day-to-day. The third thing I really like to do to support my creativity is movement. And for me, this usually takes the form of going for a run, but sometimes I like to do yoga or other sports. As creators, I think it's essential to support our physical health because you can't create anything if you're feeling unhealthy and you're super tired. But also from a creativity standpoint, I feel so much more refreshed and so much more peaceful after I've gone for a run or done something active. And there's a lot of research that things like exercise can really help get the creative juices flowing. Andrew Huberman, a professor from Stanford, recently had an episode that was talking about the links between movement and exercise and creativity. And I've definitely found this in my own experience. When I'm going for a run, when I'm doing some yoga, I feel refreshed afterwards and I feel like my mind is clear and I'm ready to create something big. It also gives me a sense of power, of strength, of confidence to overcome any of my creative fears. And the last practice that I do to promote my creativity is what you would call filling the well. This is about going out and seeking new experiences or new places that really inspire me and just fill me up when I'm feeling depleted. Sometimes this means going out to dinner with friends and having a really stimulating and exciting conversation. Other times it means going on a hike out in nature and just totally disconnecting. I think as artists, it's really easy to fall into the habit of just staying in the studio with our work. But when it comes down to it, our inspiration is going to come from living life, in particular from pursuing the things that bring us joy. For me, one of my favorite things to do is to go on a hike in nature, because I think so many times in the world we're constantly bombarded with all this information, all this stimuli, things to watch, things to read, things to do. And when you go out into nature, everything is so much more simple. There's just this peace that I feel when I'm out in nature that is extremely refreshing. And I always come back from my hikes inspired to do new paintings. When you're walking out in nature, things move at a slower pace. And I think that gives space for creative ideas to arise. So to recap, what are the rituals that support my creativity? First is morning pages, journaling first thing in the morning every day. Second is meditation, either a breath meditation or just being aware of your surroundings. Third is movement, whether going for a run or doing yoga, anything that exercises your body. And fourth is filling the well, pursuing activities that expand your mind and bring you joy. Okay, now I want to hear from you. What are the rituals that support your creativity? Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you found this video helpful and that it gave you some ideas that can help give you a creative boost. And as a quick note, this channel isn't sponsored by anyone, but if you'd like to support my work, you can purchase my paintings from my website below, you can join my Patreon, or you can share this video with a friend who you think might like it. And a huge shout out and thank you to my existing supporters on Patreon. Thank you so much for supporting these videos and making them happen. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.